He was able to net some kills and really come in clutch. Those impact frags were absolutely huge. So we talked about Vanity. We talked about Zelsis. Effie's absolutely one that we have to continue to talk about, as well as a wall up towards mid. Going to slow things down for a second. But it's quickly cut down, and it's looking like a quick B hit here. Turret should get some information. Paranoid to go on through, try and stop the shots from coming down range. Weeded on the off angle, playing right behind the turret. Going to open things up here in the lower semis. Weeded with the first onto Penny, and there's still some pretty good utility on the side of version 1, so taking that jet off the board isn't necessarily maybe the kill that you want to have, but does feel good as they look for some more. The Boombot right behind him, it gets shot down, but Aaron, the real target you wanted to find. And for version 1, things looking pretty grim on the pistol.
That was a great combination of the Boombot and the peek there from Aaron. This made it really difficult for V1 to deal with him here. And now it just seems like XSET are really starting to clean up. Only 2 members left here. Effie's with the spike, basically trapped over towards A Heaven, now forced to retreat through ropes as Vanity has taken over B Heaven and is open, except for Glypho, who's playing towards main, and he has spotted Vanity. He puts the turret down. He's doing his job to make sure he has this site covered, and he's buying time for his teammates to rotate.
Yeah, and the turret ends up cleaning up Vanity. Just a tough spot to be in. A nice flashpoint. Effie's able to find one, but BCJ closes that out. Only a couple of deaths there in the pistol, but XSET gonna grab the first, and we'll see. We didn't get a whole lot of forces yesterday, Dust, so I think that we kind of see the same lay of the land here.
Yeah, this is a great start for XSET to take this pistol away here on Split, the pick of version 1. Version 1 have been so nasty on Split. They come with an 80% win rate on the map. They've only had one real recent loss. That was to Cloud9. Just a couple of, or yesterday, but before that they were on an 8-game winning streak, so they have been really hot on Split. Meanwhile, more of a 50-50 map for XSET, if I'm honest, and recently it's been a bit of a struggle, so to see them kick off early well here on the defense is definitely a good sign for them.
Yeah, and they are just trying to send it here on the pistol, quite possibly looking to get this one over with so they can get their hands on a couple of rifles. A Bulldog bought up by Aaron, so that bonus is gonna have a bit more power behind it going into the next round if they're able to hang on to that one. But Spectres for just about everybody else. Penny find that kill onto Weeded, so a little bit of retaliation from round number 1. Flashpoint gonna try and blind 3 in the flank to come on through. It's Pure to cut him down, and Zelsis the last one standing with 30 HP. It's not looking too great here on the pistol.
No, certainly not. They didn't really have a whole lot invested into this, but they have gotten a couple of kills, and Zelsis might try to get a little bit more, but no, Pure gonna take him out there, and so that's 2-0 start for XSET. And just to add a bit more context to the recent results on Split, it is worth noting that the quality of opponent version 1 has played is not of the same caliber, right? XSET's recent losses have been to Sentinels twice and Envy 3 times, so you know they're definitely playing kind of the elite of the region, and still able to put up some respectable numbers and beat some solid teams like LG and TSM. So no slouches, but just overall win percentage not been as high as version 1. But version 1 haven't had that many opportunities to play the best of the best, and so this is their chance to make a statement. Off to a cold start, but now their economy is back under them, and they'll be able to full send it here, as they're a team that really does like the pressure that one side of the map heavy to start, and that's no exception into this round. So they're really looking to test the waters at A early.
You see that star on the ground from Aaron. I'm going to be paying attention to those to see how he's looking to use that. It is going to be a Nebula smoke for the first, and I think another star to follow just in case anybody decides to push on through. And Penny not expecting the Boombot to come on out. It forces them back into the sewers, and yeah, that hurts on your rifle round.
Even healed, he's still only at 22 HP, so that is definitely a really well done play there from XSET to push that pressure off. And now they get aggressive in B lobby and find Vanity, who default-wise for this team does like to lurk that B side of the map or middle, and he's been caught now, so a lot of intel to V1. Zelsis tries to respond by taking control of vents to threaten that ropes position, and so at least he's taken something back, maybe setting up an A split, but there's still a good defense in place, and we do have BCJ on the breach kind of guarding this A Heaven rotation. And there he goes. Zelsis is found out, and this is looking grim now for V1.
This is a rough spot to be. Very reminiscent of what we were seeing yesterday, where the rifle round, the first one for either team, it just kind of fell by the wayside. It took a few rounds or a couple of those rifle rounds to really start to get things going and be able to get that read on your opponent. So unfortunately, Version-1 now running out of time, running out of players as the last one cut down. Nice little crossfire there over towards A. Pushes XSET to 3 rounds, and it pushes Version-1 back to the pistols.
Yeah, definitely not going to have the economy with no spike plants or anything like that to give them that extra bit of buffer to try to force another buy. So it should be XSET starting up 4-0. And again, this is a bold statement for a team that, again, aren't really known for their split, I guess you would say. Definitely kind of known for some of their other maps in the pool. And so, yeah, they're definitely kicking things off in the right direction here. Again, not much Version-1 can say about it this time around. Just the upgraded pistols, including 3 sheriffs. And a couple of frenzies.
Ooh, Nebula Smokes called back. The pistols from downtown, not able to find too much there. Zelsis, unfortunately, taking a bit of damage. Penny now with the Blade Storm online.
Yeah.
This is a round where you release... Oh my goodness! I would say we usually see him send it, but instead it's the Frenzy kill first. From all the way downtown. A main to elbow there. And player 1 gets chunked down 124 damage onto the Cypher. It doesn't feel great, but the heal is there. The blades are still available. Flashpoint gonna go out. Kill's gonna be traded back and forth on the side. BCJ picks up 2, but Penny is still moving. Penny still has the blades and is very healthy on this Jet. Vanity looking just as healthy. Doesn't necessarily have the arsenal behind him with just a ghost in hand. We'll see what kind of space Penny can create.
Kira still has a showstopper as well. He's going to get pushed in, jumps it out, takes them all down, including himself, Tanner. But that is a worthwhile sacrifice, and I was a little bit curious about what would happen if Version-1 decided to test that screens position with Pure having the rockets ready to go, and they were trying to stamp him out before he could actually complete the animation and actually get the rocket off, but they were a little too late, and that wins the round. That's the checkmate. But that's still a really close round. V1 did a great job putting the pressure on XSET there. Definitely forcing some rebuys, definitely forcing them to break a bit of a sweat. Now they come back into their next full buy. No operator, but plenty of rifles and utility to go around. And again, they're looking for that early A pressure, and this time it's being reinforced with even more players. They have no presence on B side of the map. They're basically fully committed to this.
Nebula in mid, gonna slow things down alongside that barrier orb. Elsis putting in some work on that one, just trying to cut it down. But like you said, a lot of pressure over towards this A site. And I mean, Thwyfo has been, it feels like, all over the place with this setup that when you run into that turret, it's so defeating that it possibly spotted 1, 2, 3 members pushing up towards this A heaven area.
Yeah, both these teams are very explosive teams. They do favor that more assertive style, you know, overloading one area of the map early and just really continuing to make that slow progress until they feel confident to go ahead and just full send it. And here you can see the lockdown trying to deter this A attack, but XSET may get in some trouble. But yeah, BCJ has just been the guardian of those ropes.
And drops the ultimate on the back end. They just can't catch a break. The ult utility used here for XSET has been so huge for this squad. It's now all down to Vanity, and okay, there it is. Never mind. He peeks and say he's getting pinched from behind. XSET looks so good here. That's the second rifle going their way.
Yeah, and they're coming clean, right? Like, they've been challenged on eco rounds, and it's been full buy versus full buy. They seem dominant. BCJ, again, just not allowing these vent lurks to have any impact. Again, great combo of just kind of staging out the round. You started off with the lockdown to kind of make it a little bit tough on V1 to get that early pressure, and then you follow it up with the rolling thunder to just punch your ticket to a 5th round. And now you see V1 actually having to just try to get some, you know, upgraded pistols, a Bucky and a you know, SMG out there. And this time they're going for the full B play, wasting no time sending that boombot forward and trying to get in here.
Paranoia again, an eco round. They've got the Buckies, they've got some pistols, but it's not going to be enough to get anything just yet. Player 1 falls with the spike in hand. Effie's able to trade a kill back with the Spectre, but we did. He's going to pick up where his team left off. Sprays down one. Effie's still alive, but stunned. He's gravity well, Nova pulsed, everything except for the kitchen sink to close out another round for XSET.
I mean, BCJ has been so on point already, and I don't know why I'm surprised. I don't know if he's fragging while guarding the ropes, but his flashes have been perfect on setting up his teammates to feel confident to take these duels in open space, knowing that they are going to have the edge on vision, and they have been really using it to good effect. You can see one here, just both players taken out of their element as we did swings to finish off the round with Pure. Obviously around that Version-1 couldn't say much about it, but now they're back onto the full buy, and again, they haven't had any success with the early A pressure, so now they're going to go for a little bit more of a heavy-handed play at mid, and that's not a bad call. If you can get control of mailroom, you can cause a lot of disruption in defensive rotations and open up options for splitting either site. So not a bad call to just slow it down, play it a bit more default, and see if that adjustment can give you better results.
Round 7. The third round for Version-1 where they've been able to find themselves on a full rifle buy, and this is where they need to start getting some stuff moving.
They're like, thank God BCJ's not here.
Exactly. Free passage that time.
You could see they were worried, though. They double peeked it and they staggered it to where they would be able to trade him if he had been there. Now they're getting flushed out of position by the aftershock. Great catch by Pure. Again, BCJ just setting up his teammates so well.
Yeah, and it's the rest of the squad right behind him. Again, Dwipo setting up on a different site. Effie's still able to find some kills, but it hasn't been really able to amount to anything. 8 HP, and he's still going to work. Vanity will finally sit him down. A very favorable fight to take for the Omen. Now a 1v2 split in the side, making a 1v3 completely sandwiched in. One from spawn, one from heaven, one from hell as XSET steal away another round.
Need to call a timeout immediately. Yeah. It's got to come. They need to talk this out. They've tried it all. They've tried a mid-heavy default. They've tried early A pressures. They did kind of more of an eco B rush, I guess, not really one that had a lot of utility and firepower behind it. So I feel like they've really kind of run the gambit on their playbook, and just nothing's been fruitful, really. They had a couple of close rounds, I guess, but nothing too threatening. I think the closest they had was like that 2v2 where Pure wins off the showstopper, and other than that, it has been just dominance from XSET. I feel like after this round, when they get their full buy back, they need to talk it out a little bit extra.
And then when they go for something a little spicy, it just gets completely stunted and shot in the back. Pure finds 3 to cut down yet another round, make it 4. And player 1 has 5 players to worry about, standing right in front with just a sheriff in hand. There's no absolute way for Version-1 to get back in the game when they're playing this darn good.
An ace, and I don't know that anyone really lost HP for XSET that round. Maybe Pure lost a little bit, but I think he can be forgiven considering he just took down 5 players on the other side. So we'll let him take a little bit of damage there. He got healed up, actually, maybe by We Did, yeah. So that's why I thought he didn't take much damage. But either way, big round for XSET. And again, I'd love to see a timeout here from V1. And the only thing I can really think of is just try to put a little bit more of a threat on mailroom a little bit earlier. It seems like when they have done it, they've already dwindled numbers too much to really be able to reinforce that threat. And it feels like sometimes they move a little bit too fast once they do have control. Like that round they took B Heaven control, they just kind of ran straight into Dwifo's utility rather than kind of trying to bait it out a little bit and you know, trying to make it easier on themselves to access the site. So I'd like to see them keep up the mid pressure. I think that's good. Break that sage wall, threaten mailroom, make it a little bit harder for Version, you know, it's usually for XSET to read rotations. Yeah, and then slow roll, I think, that the B Heaven pressure. You know, burn some of that Killjoy utility or whatever you think is over there, and then work your way in. They have some very potent entry fraggers, but right now they're just getting scrambled. I feel like they just need to get their footing, get that map control, and then use it as a launching pad.
Do break the wall down nice and early, opening things up towards mid, and they've got players split across the map. Player 1 over towards A, Vanity looking to lurk over towards that B main area. Nice. Killjoy is set up on A, so should they look to take the fight up towards B, it would not be free, but you have a whole lot less to worry about, and you're off to a pretty good start off the back end of a timeout.
This is where I'd love to see Vanity send a Paranoia through B Heaven and really let them put that pressure on there. And then they don't even have to necessarily commit, right? They had that cam still set up over outside, and they can still double back if they need be, but again, they have a lot to punch through right now. They have the rest. They have, you know, so much to just get in here.
Not like this, DCJ. The extreme off angle. Oh my goodness, a gravity well to stop him. He's got a couple of flashpoints to use. 3 players to look to cut down inside the cloudburst, and he does just that. Vanity and player 1 have since linked up and pushed onto the B side, but I mean, what does it mean hopefully something here in a 2v2 with the lockdown coming on through. There's looking to spray right through the wall. The showstopper going to be used, but here we go, a 1v1. Dwifo, the last one standing, operator in hand, is going to hop on over to the Phantom. Sentinel v Sentinel. He has the information as to where player one is playing, and he's got the shots on target.
XSET just look immovable. They are just perched upon this rock of split, and it does not seem like anything will topple them. This was brilliant from BCJ. Again, great flash points, great use of the grab to kind of force them back and set up his flashes. Again, it's just great coordination, great team play, great use of utility to play off of one another. They are just more polished than Version-1 right now in this game from what I'm seeing. Version-1 look a bit shook. I like the adjustment to go for the heavy mid control again and get that mailroom control, but again, they're struggling to get that next step forward, that actual launch into the site without just leaking numbers along the way. And look at this, Penny just trying to take matters into his own hands here with the daggers, but forced backwards by the orb and the flashes.
And just completely delayed. Now they have the information as to where BCJ is playing. They can look to play away from the breach because that seems to be the play, but unbeknownst to them, they're running right back into that killjoy, and it's Dwifo with the operator.
Yeah. I like the dynamic defense, man. I like that XSET are moving around that killjoy utility and keeping V1 guessing. Like, they're already struggling to adjust to the base defense, and now you're, you know, changing the variables up along the way to just remain steps ahead. But we'll see if XSET can try to brute force their way through here with these daggers and SMGs.
The eco round in the last where we almost saw him pick it up as the off angle. Not going to work this time around. BCJ tries to go through Cyber Cage. Not going to find too much there. Weeded going to be spotted out. The Blade's going to take him down, though. 1-for-1 on the site, but XSET find themselves on the back foot. No resurrection available as Weeded taken off the board. Finally, a spike will be planted in this game. Effie's going to go for the res just to secure it. Again, that arsenal's not great, Dust.
Is that really the first spike plant in the game?
I think so.
You might be right, honestly. It has been quite dominant. We'll see if V1 can finish it off. They're certainly in prime position to do so in now a 5 versus 2, where Pure and BCJ have yet to be able to really penetrate back into the site. They're still very much stuck up here in heaven. They're trying to sort out their angles. Pure does get down, but he takes damage along the way. He's now mopped up. It's all on BCJ, and that's a little bit too much to ask of him there, as player 1's going to come up with the quad. Until finally around on the board for Version-1. Again, they were finally able to abuse that B Heaven. We were kind of talking about that earlier, Tanner, that they needed to try to, you know, push that mail room control a bit further and actually split up the site. And it really just kind of came off of a dry peak where they kind of caught XSET a little bit off guard on that balcony and were able to press forward because of it after burning that utility early. That's, again, another thing I was hoping to see them change is, you know, not commit too early, burn some utility, then recommit. And that's exactly what they did, and it worked out. So can they keep it up for another couple of rounds and try to actually close the gap on the scoreboard? It's now the next big question.
Delayed wall. 2 players going to go up top. It gets a bit of value, but it's a 2-for-2 overall. Weeded once more taken off the board, and Effie's looking to work towards that resurrection once more, using the last round to secure it. And, well, it did its job as they picked up their first, but now things slow down in a 3v3 across the map, and Dwifo mixes it up once more. The turret not in heaven. It's on that A site, so you just can never expect to know where this killjoy is. And
they might have him pinned. They might have him pinned here. That's maybe a high-low peak he's about to run into if he chances things a little bit too much. Again, a 3-on-3, not bad for V1. It's been one of the better positions they've been in all game long, but it's just player 1 being stuck in a spot he is about to start getting support. But it's all going to come down to timing, as now they're going to start moving down. The cam's out, but in the wrong place, and Dwifo will punish for that mistake.
That is, yeah, and that's, again, timing. Player 1 just didn't have any information that somebody is peeking, goes into the cam. Obviously, they already know he's there, and the timing just so terrible for him.
I actually recant that. I don't say that he made a mistake. He did just get timing, and that's just unfortunate for him, but smart play from XSET. V1, though, trying to fight back. Vanity, great pick on the Dwifo, now getting that balcony control, walling off the screens, limiting the angles that XSET can come back through without being detected, as a spike will go down, and they do have a shot at this. No ult in play other than the divide, but I don't know how much that's really going to help.
Yeah, I mean, there it is. So we'll see what the Cosmic Divide does here in this round, if anything. It looks like they're looking to play up towards heaven. They shouldn't hear him drop down because of the divide, and you don't have to worry about those nano swarms any longer. Takes a shot just to try. and mask the dropping sound as Aaron looking to play over towards elbow. Now they have to push onto the site. They're running out of time, out of the dark cover. They will go a 1v1, and Vanity looks the wrong way. XSET grab it back. The momentum swinging in their favor, and double digits here in the first half.
Yeah, I think you're spot on there, Tanner. The Cosmic Divide did allow Pure to get down, clear under Heaven without being detected, kind of realizing that both players likely had to be on site or maybe like deep more towards sewers or something along those lines. I thought Vanity actually did a great job with the counter paranoia against the stun of Aaron to try to kind of hold off that retake a bit, but XSET is just trade fragging way too efficiently for V1 to handle right now. They are just so far behind. Zelsis has not really gotten going with that 1 kill on Raze. I mean, that's a guy you want to be creating openings, and he just hasn't really been able to do so. And part of it could be he's just missing a little bit of individual form this match, but I think a lot of it is just XSET are so much on the same page right now. Now they're playing together.
And they look to grab some early aggression over towards this A site. This time, 2 players pushing that way, both player 1 and Zelsis. 1-for-1 traded, and BCJ had the ultimate available, so it's a nice one to take off the board. We did Bunny hopping his way through the rafters. Here comes the showstopper. Vanity gonna get sat down, and across the map, the Sentinels went toe-to-toe, and Pure's not done yet. It's all up to Penny, who has to grab the spike and make a play with a minute left on the clock in a 1v4.
Bro, the V1 hype train is a little bit off the rails right now, Tanner. I'm not going to lie. Meanwhile, the XSET hype train's full steam ahead, baby. They're doing everything that you could want if you're an XSET fan, just showing you why they've been able to make this grind up the North American rankings, why they keep qualifying every single time for every Challengers and Masters event on their first attempt. They have really built themselves up to be, like you say, kind of a Titan Slayer in the region. You know, they're not quite themselves a Titan in the rankings, but they're kind of a gatekeeper team to that top 5, I feel like. And they're really showing you that maybe they're on their way into the top 5 themselves if they can play like this, as they're already within the top 4 here of this first Challengers event. Rez comes in, and Penny's in a lot of trouble, bro.
Yeah. Yeah, Rolling Thunder, everything thrown that way. The Rez, the ults, 5 players. Penny, yeah, it was, you know, with no Blade Storm.
You can't blame him. 11-1 on split defense. We know this map.
Version-1 is the team that came back down 11-1. They won 12 in a row, but it was on the inverse. It was on their attacking side that they did that.
30 seconds left.
Oh, now on the defense, I'm not too sure what to expect. Yep. And so through the transitive properties with V1 beating XSET on this map, and XSET, or excuse me, Envy, and Envy beating XSET, you would think it'd be the inverse. Go back to the pistol, and this is, I mean, quite possibly the round of the game right here.
Yeah, unfortunately, Mike was muted to stream there, but what I was trying to say is, like, normally V1 have a decent attack on this map, like 61%. Even had a great attack recently against BBG, and again, normally a great side for them, so to only get 1 round is definitely not looking good. It's going to be a very tough comeback climb with not much breathing room to work with. As XSET just pounce onto this A site, walling up screens. All 5 players still standing. Spike will go down. They have frenzies aplenty to play these close angles as well.
It just doesn't feel like anything can cut down that wall, right? There's not a singular pistol. Maybe the Sheriff if you're really going to town on it, but it takes 2, and even then, you pull your knife out there like we saw player 1 doing. It just buys so much space and time, as does Weeded, finding the first kill. Now a heal available. Zeppy trades it back, but XSET starting to come out on top. The last 2 remaining here. Vanity gonna get cut down there at the end by BCJ, and the pistol's too strong. XSET too strong, and I'm assuming on map point, they're only gonna get stronger here.
Bro, just stick a fork in Version-1 for this map at least. I mean, this is maybe one of the most dominant performances I've seen in VCT. honestly. And not even just because of the score, which in itself it showed you how dominant it is, but just the manner in which these rounds have been played. It just looked like there's maybe, other than the round that Version-1 won, Tanner, there was maybe only 2 other rounds where I could have conceived of V1 winning. Everything else, it was very clear from start to finish XSET we're going to be on top. They have been so dominant.
Well, the game comes down to a Bucky or 2, a Sheriff, a Frenzy, and a classic full utility. Just about full armor across the board. Zellsis opting into that utility rather than the armor here in this round. And I think at a certain point, probably coming into that half, you're thinking, all right, we got to start prepping for Haven because it was just looking so incredibly grim.
Okay.
Version-1, though, starting to battle back against the Spectres. Pure still alive. Still very dangerous and very healthy. The blast pack looks to push him away. Boombot to try and find the information as to whether or not he is in heaven still. And unfortunately, it is going to miss its mark and head on out to sight. 3 players playing on. A nice little headshot there from player 1 with the Sheriff. Not enough to find the kill. But enough to cut him down. Just enough for the rest of the squad to close it out. It's the leaping Bucky. And here we go. Dust the comeback underway.
All right, Tanner. You know, I don't like your odds on that bet, but, you know, maybe if V1 can get their way up to, like, 7 or 8 rounds, I'll start to believe a little bit, but it's going to take a lot more than that to knock XSET off their pedestal, you have to imagine. But, you know, at least getting a little bit of something out there is... We'll take a look at the shoe shop here.
That goes there. This is a nice spot.
You know, I will say... XSET have been on the receiving end of a game like this against Envy on split. They've lost 13-1. So, you know, it's all been building up, right? This is the culmination of a whole lot going into it. And XSET really trying to say, you're not taking our limelight.
It was a deja vu half
is,
too, right? XSET started on the attack and only got 1 round. So, it's just, like you said, it's a very similar scenario, but I think XSET wants to be on the winning end of this one. They're well on their way to doing so.
Not too far off. Ares hitting the toesies there of both Pure and Weeded. Gonna cut them down out towards mid, and it is that eco round. Unfortunately, it's only up to Thwifo here, so Version-1 looking to punch their way into 3 rounds. And we might see a little bit of Sentinel on Sentinel action. The turret to be taken down. Oh, Thwifo picks up 1, picks up 2. 1 Bucky is better than none. 1 kill to follow. The next one's so close, but Effies is finally going to shut down the terror of Thwifo.
Imagine that's how it ends, bro. Imagine if that's how it ended, man. What a ride this has become, it feels. But yeah, prior to their win against Immortals yesterday, which was massive, by the way, they won that 13-3. They were on a 4-game losing streak. But again, all those losses were to Sentinels and Envy, 2, you know, top 3 teams in the region. Again, V1... not that same caliber, and they haven't faced that level of opposition on a regular basis. So that's kind of one of the storylines that was out there for me is, yeah, V1's been on the come up, but, you know, this is like a really big test to fight an XSET team who, again, are gatekeeping that next, you know, echelon of the NA rankings. And now we have economies fully out for both sides. Thwifo putting that pressure on B lobby. Rest of the team trying to establish a bit of mid control. While their Astra kind of just plays outside that A site, just kind of keeping tabs on any aggression.
Vanity almost the first to contact there as they slowed down. Lockdown going to come on through. It's not going to clear out towards the back of the site, so I'm assuming we see a bit of utility headed that way. And this is such a good map for the Killjoy, right? Because who stops that? There is no Hunter's Fury. There's nothing really. There's no... You know how hard it is to bank your paint shells off the walls there and try and get that down? Now, not paint shells needed. Instead, it's just going to be the Phantom for Effies. Another Phantom starting to go to work on the B side. Vanity on 2 HP is able to find a kill before finally going down. But Weeded not done yet. Looking for a resurrection. Able to pick Pure back up and turn things back in their favor.
Showstopper. That was a clutch person to select on the ult to get the Showstopper back into play in a 3-on-2 to help shut down this retake. So... great decision-making in a tense moment.
And shots back and to stop the footsteps. The Ares only is good for 1 as player 1. Surely they know exactly where this Cypher is at. Had to shoot down the wall. The Showstopper going to go wide, but it doesn't matter. It's the rifle instead. Is the ability to lurk, right? You don't have like that that range cap on your smoke. So we could possibly see, you know, Dwifo lurking, Weeded lurking, a whole lot of that just really playing around the map and working together to get that space, because Astra can just use those stars from really anywhere. As we see a few go down, it's a quick take towards C, and this is typically how pistol round goes, but maybe not expecting 5v5 is close into the game. Dash onto the side, Penny for the first to fall. That's Weeded. Finding that kill. Aaron on 10 HP, able to find one. Finally going to get sat down as Zelstis looks to top himself off. Just about overhealed all the way. Vanity and Zelstis now going to work against 4 players. Playing out towards long in the smoke. The Gravity Well going to try and slow things down for a bit. They look to storm on through the dark cover. Zelstis has to go huge, but he LOS's the Devour. Only 3 on the round for version 1, and it was all Zelstis, but the round goes to XSET.
Yeah, you could tell that version 1 we're kind of playing more of a retake setup. You kind of have to a lot of the time on this map because it's just so big. You kind of have to pick and choose your battles and kind of pick and choose where your vulnerability is going to be. And unfortunately for them, they left C-side open. XSET took it with ease, and the retake attempt just didn't come to fruition. You could definitely see that the gears were turning. They had some good cage placements to try to get back into C-side, but the trading efficiency just simply wasn't there to contest as... Yeah, it just didn't quite work out.
Revealing area.
Version 1 yesterday, we're doing a pretty solid job in these eco rounds. Not necessarily this one, but the thrifties that they found themselves in. We'll see if that comes back to play. Unfortunately, it didn't happen on Split. But again, Haven, you can play a bit more of that fun Valorant style, which is why we see Zelstis play that Reyna, right? Looking just to have a good time.
Yeah, he plays a lot of Reyna on this map, so not surprised to see him pick it up. Again, he kind of rotates between duelists depending on the map, and this is one of his maps where he favors the Reyna. Has been nerfed some time ago, but still can be very impactful in the right hands. Pure catching player one, getting aggressive there on the C side. Again, not a whole lot you can expect out of E1 in this round. They do have a couple of little gimmicks out there, particularly the Bucky on Vanity, but definitely not able to really put up a fight here in this round.
And one of those rounds, again, where you kind of just look to stack somewhere, give something up, and try and play retake, or at the very least, exits to try and hurt the economy going into the bonus. Two members now down for version 1. The Bucky still online. Zelstis still has that frenzy in hand, so can look to do damage, but this is, again, it's all the weight coming crashing down early here in Haven.
Yeah. Vanity just gets caught there. I mean, they're just kind of cannon fodder at this point. Not a whole lot that could be said or done there, as it is going to be a clean round from XSET. No players lost. Alt's building quite nicely on most of their agents already. Zelstis not too far off the Empress in his own right, but now economies are out. Bit of a bonus round, but see, I like this because we did see a Bulldog come out from Aaron, so they do have at least one rifle coming into this round as opposed to just all SMGs. Gives them a little bit more firepower. And here's where we're going to see the Astra dominance on A control. Look at how they're setting up on A side. It's going to be so hard for Effies to stop them from getting into sewers and stop them from getting this control.
Standing ahead.
Oh! He was pulling them in. Unfortunately, not able to get too much there. The Gravity Well, Penny able to trade 2 kills back. This rifle looking a whole lot different than what we've seen from version 1 in the past, and it kicks off with Penny finding 2 quick kills. Make it a third here as the 2 remaining have since taken this site, but unfortunately they don't have the spike in hand. He's looking to make contact with the Phantom. We did get a fall, and Dwifo, he's going for a little around the world play here in 1v4.
Yeah, kind of hoping for a miracle at this point, which is all he can really do to have a chance to reel this one back in. V1 did such a great job countering at A with just that heavy sewers pressure, and I'm surprised that XSET didn't pick up on it. They got rinsed by Penny. Peeking that angle. They're putting a lot of focus early on getting up long, and they're doing a great job with that aspect of the split, but just got shut down on sewer side. BCJ just got kind of caught off guard, I think. Maybe they thought the stun would have slowed down the push, but the timing that was found by Penny, he kind of got past the Astra Star and just blew that play up. So great timing there from V1. Great aggression from Penny, and a big result to get around on the board early here. But now the full economy is out for XSET, and they're looking to get that early mid control, possibly into some aggression at the garage.
Vanity has the Spectre in hand, I believe, tossed over a rifle to Zelstis. in this round, feeling more comfortable with that Spectre. Blade's going to be taken down immediately. Player one, huge kill there onto Pure, and they just continue to follow up. Version-1 starting to battle back here, hurting the economy. This is a huge round to win over XSET.
Absolutely. Great job by player one to kind of use the pressure they're putting on Window to find his timing to peek in from the halls, get his kill. Smoke dwindles. Vanity can strike. Now they get aggression on middle with the drone. Zelsis used to take control of Window. He gets his man as well before traded by Thwifo, and now they just have such a big man advantage.
Getting a little crazy there. Effie's on those jiggle peaks, ends up getting tagged up and doesn't want to take the fight any further. But as far as XSET goes, Weeded and Thwifo not necessarily the best for wear here. A couple of stars still available, but I can't imagine
30 seconds left.
we see those being used. Weeded going to be spotted out, and Penny, oh my goodness, the shot there and the dash right after the quick reactions only leave Thwifo once more. This time, again in a 1v4. Gonna push through the cyber cage. Run out of time. Has the spike in hand. Needs to be wary of what's behind. The neural theft was used, but to no avail.
Yeah, that was a very optimistic use of neural theft in a 1 versus 4. I don't know that he would have been able to get too much value out of that. Would have liked to have seen him maybe save it, but either way, Version-1 doing a great job with their aggression. You know, just being willing to take fights early. They're catching some good timings, particularly player one that round did a great job with the pick and then the cage for, you know, Sanctuary to get away. They did a great job shutting down the A pressure of XSET the round prior. And it seems like XSET are, you know, kind of now going to spread the map a little bit here. They're constantly starring off Effies at long, but now they're starting to also try to get that early mid control and not just full commit to A side. Again, Penny keeps kind of beating that stun that we're seeing Weeded try to put in Sewers, and I think that Penny's constant pressure at Sewers has really been the counter to what XSET are normally able to do on this map with that Astra getting that A control. That's been huge for Version-1.
Yeah, and what hurts the most about a play like that, too, is you won't know until you look back at that how far away you are from hitting that stun or how close you are and where you need to reset up, because there's not really, I guess you can take a peek at the end in that tab screen and, you know, kind of get those confirmations, but it's not something that's probably going to be fixed in this map specifically.
Right. The thing is, XSET's used to being able to dominate that in their previous Haven games that I've been watching throughout the rest of this bracket and even in the qualifier. Like, they're a very strong Haven team, and a lot of it has been based on that Astra play at A side to kind of unlock that site, but also to set them up later on in the half where they force, you know, defenses to respect A and that creates opportunities elsewhere on the map. But they haven't been able to do that yet. But now they're looking to charge here up long.
Penny not spotted out. Thwifo looks away at just the wrong time. The dash on into the side. Another kill to come through for the Jet, and Zelsis is there to back him up. The dismiss to get away, and the cavalry has arrived. Once more, Vanity to close it out.
Yeah, again, Penny and company are doing such a great job defending this A side of the map. We're seeing them find their aim, find their individual form, and again, they're doing great on, you know, getting those forward angles, particularly that Sewers pressure. Penny has been doing time and time again. It's been such an X factor in disrupting XSET's attack. And I'm not sure what the adjustment will be here from XSET. You know, they haven't gone for, you know, anything, you know, particularly strong at B, but that's not normally their style. They're normally more of like an A or C team, as most teams kind of are. B is always kind of a fallback option. You know, you're normally trying to get that garage control or get A, but now they are going to test the waters heavily at B early on here.
And it's 4 Buckies that are going to lead the charge here in doing so. Level just outside. Garage door is going to go wide on the shot, but still gets the reset and the kill. The showstopper looking to find another player one. Only good for one as that Cosmic Divide comes online. This B retake going to be a whole lot harder now. We find ourselves cut down to the last 5 players. 3 for XSET, but Thwifo low on HP in that drone. Well, that was kind of a wash there on the peak. Unfortunately, not finding a whole lot. As the Cosmic Divide comes down, though, things are looking a bit more doable. Full HP, no, make it 0 HP for Effies, and Vanity has to do it again. Needs to clutch up, needs to be that one-player cavalry here. He's running out of time. The dark cover, he is going to get spotted by the Recon Bolt. 3 HP in a dream. It's everything. They're throwing everything at him. He had to just send it. It was the Buckies that got it done here. Justin tied us up at 3.
As well as that showstopper to really kind of add that next element to the attack, shutting down that first rotator. Yeah, great pivot here. almost feared the worst for Twyfo in that scenario. Would have felt bad for him as he had it lined up perfectly, but was able to recover on the second shot. And again, just kind of mop up from there, able to collect some free weapons as well, get those upgrades on those Bucky players, get some rifles aplenty. And now they're, again, going to try to go for that A pressure. This time, Penny is not on Sewer's side, so this time XSET might have a little bit better of a time implementing their normal game plan.
Revealing area.
And they opt into just leaving that star hanging out towards long. Hunter Shuri going to be queued on up. BCJ looking for something, trying to clear out the site. Is able to get a tag, and there's the sit-down Pure pushing through. And you said it. Nobody pushing up from this defending side into Sewers. It gives so much free reign for this XSET squad. They not only take that position, but they find a kill while doing it, and now they're continuing their onslaught on the A side. 3 quick kills, make it 4. And again, Vanity finds himself all by his lonesome.
Again, XSET showing you that they can be explosive when they need to be. They're very good at playing that fast-paced style. They're very good at layering their utility together, combining those agent abilities, and just laying into a site. And with no one there to contest them early to disrupt their plans, they're able to implement their full set piece efficiently. And Vanity trying to fight back, finds one, but still a tall task ahead of him.
A very tall task. 3 ahead. The shock darts chipping away, and they've got the information and the shots on target. Pure was low, so could have found another, but either way, XSET reclaim the lead.
Indeed they do, starting to impose their will once again on Version-1. Version-1, definitely more of an attacking favored team on this map. I think they're only 51% win rate on the defense, whereas they're 64% on their attack. XSET a more balanced team, 58% on both sides of the map since BCJ's been on the team, and again, up against usually higher caliber opposition. Just to give you a lay of the land as we tick into our 8th round. As you said, XSET with a slight edge. But now we have a couple of ults in play for Version-1. They're still fully loaded with firepower. BCJ looking to put that pressure on C early here.
Oh, Penny's trying.
Okay.
Oh, the last round in the chamber through the wall. Penny, you absolute madman. Both of the Jets gonna pick up a couple of kills across the map. 1 for 1 we go, but that spike plant now to come on through, and the retake to be mounted by Version-1.
Yeah, I couldn't believe he survived for that long at A side. Penny eventually found this man, but now we have a 4-on-4 retake ahead of us here. There is a neural depth in play for player 1 that could be huge. Stars being placed by Weeded as he's able to escape the long. That's going to be great pieces of utility to really stall out the spike plant and set up those long-range duels.
Yeah, and that gravity well will pull a diffuser off the spike, so I mean, that's exactly what we're expecting to see. Nova Pulse for the stun. Version-1 going right to work, though. Still have a whole lot to worry about. The spike now looking to get diffused. It's all up to Aaron. Unfortunately, not able to get it done. 28 HP is all Penny needed to find the diffuse here once more. We're all tied up, and like you said, Dust, if Version-1 keep putting on up rounds on defense, it's looking really good going into the swap.
Yeah, they're very confident, a double duelist aggressive play style in their own right on the attacking side. Again, that is their favorite side, as it is for most teams, I would say, but the percentages skew even more for a team like Version-1 based on their past results. As we are, again, back still on equal footing with firepower. Economies are vulnerable for both teams, though, to be fair, so this could be kind of a 2-for-1 deal type round. As XSET want to get back to that early A pressure. And Penny again going to let the contested at Sewers, and he's been very successful with it so far. He gets past the star again. This time the Boombot discovers him, and he's forced to fall back. I like that. Yeah, I like the adjustment from XSET there. To follow up the pressure on Sewers a little bit more.
Yeah, and I mean, good on Penny for having them use more utility. Right now, you don't have that Boombot, and maybe you don't necessarily need it all that much. I mean, it amounts to nothing. A kill still to come on through as they look to push on the site. Zelsis and Effie's going to pick up a couple, and it's going to push them all the way to the opposite side of the map.
Yeah, look how quickly they pivoted, though. I mean, V1 are not expecting this fast of an audible to be called. Now they know, obviously, as they start triggering some of that utility of player 1, as they will make their way in. They will get the spike plant. Cosmic Divide goes down to help reinforce the take. Some stars will still be put in play on the spike, but that's a big catch to get Twyfo down that early. Now we see the neural theft come into play. Now XSET are in a lot of trouble.
Yep. Heaps of information there. Gravity Well, Nova Pulse to follow. A bit premature on that one, and that Cosmic Divide about to go down. BCJ able to find one. Zelsis trades it right back. The dismiss and the reload is going to be the fall of Weeded. And Version-1 will grab themselves a lead here, 5-4.
I thought that was going to go way more in XSET's favor. They were able to basically kind of just dry peek their way up long based on putting that boombot pressure on sewers. They completely blindsided Penny from behind, but just still lost the trades, a lot thanks to Zelsis. Forced them to pivot onto C, and V1's retakes have been up to snuff here.
Oh, this is a nice place.
Now we can see what we were kind of talking about earlier. XSET does not really have the economy to make a push in this round. They will go for some Buckies and a little bit of upgrades elsewhere too, but definitely going to be hamstrung this round to have as much impact as they're used to. V1 are really turning the tides of the series around here.
And you definitely can't count out the Buckies, although last time it was 4 Buckies and Expector, this time only 3. But it's that same exact play. No showstopper available, but Pure does have the blades online, and there it is. The showstopper, yeah, coming online. And if you're version 1, you got to be a little scared. They're looking to go on the flank. So much damage. But again, Dwifo, he whiffs out on the shot. Aaron still finds a kill. Completely nearsighted by the Paranoia. And Vanity looking to trade it back. No, it's player 1. Vanity already taken off, as has the rest of the squad gone down. It's up to BCJ. In a 1v2. Recon Bolt gonna give away the information, gonna give away the spotting halfway on the spike, and the shots again wide. Zelsis, I mean, what is he doing? Is this the Matrix? He just keeps dodging out on the pellets.
Yeah, he's doing a fantastic job here. Really picked up the pace. We talked about how quiet he was on split. I think through a lot of that first half, he only had 1 frag to his name on the attacking side. Here, we able to see him start out on defense, and he's had substantial impact throughout this half. Great 1v1 here against BCJ. Like you said, XSET trying to run the same gambit they did prior on a round like that where it worked. That time, not the case, though it was quite close. Version-1 starting to really gain control of the map here. They're up 6-4 now. Money is back for XSET, but again, they've struggled to, again, kind of run through their playbook the way they're used to. But this time they catch Penny. He does spot 3 players, so he knows that they were set up for a heavy C play. Gives V1 a chance to rotate a little bit quicker, but still they're behind in the numbers by a substantial amount.
Oh, wow. Vanity gets tagged out by the Owl drone. Tries to use a shrouded step to get away, but right into the crosshair. Pure Zelsis with the Empress online, able to find the heal and the dismiss to get away, but Pure continues to find some extra kills. It's up to Zelsis and Effie's lower on HP, and you said that Empress is online, so they're looking to grab some more. Shock Dart's going to go just a bit wide and not going to deny anything too much. And this spike actually creeping up off the C side. Now they're starting to beat the Stampede coming on through, and they just get mowed down.
You almost wonder if XSET were trying to get a little bit too fancy there. They had control of C site. They could have easily planted, but they wanted to try to put the pressure towards the defensive spawn and maybe pivot. And they just got run right into a crossfire and absolutely torn apart. I don't know what the thought was there. Maybe they thought they were getting flanked at long C or something, or flanked through garage, and they wanted to, you know, pivot to A and try to get around the defense, but they wound up just getting run right through the blender. And now V1 are just starting to really get a grasp of this.
It took them a couple of rounds, but they've got that full read that they need onto this XSET roster. Zelsis continues to find kills. The dismiss, as the Devour available, is going to use it. Weeded on the back foot now. 35 HP, is able to find 1 kill and trade it back. But now it's all up to Weeded here on the Astra. Last round of the half, and version 1 are trying to claim 8, and they do just that here, Dust, on their defense.
Again, I really think that the story of this half and why V1 were so successful is really based on their aggression on the A side of the map. It started out with Penny, time and time again, being able to have impact, doing these aggressive pushes through sewers, beating that timing on the stun, and being able to just disrupt XSET before they could really get going. And then, later on, it was other players. It was Zelsis being able to anchor the site effectively. And in that final round, it was a combination of the two. Zelsis aggressing with the Leers up long as Penny, time and time again, stamping through sewers and just pinching on that XSET offense. And that did them a world of good as they now have a solid lead. And again, now they're on their more comfortable side, on that attacking side, on that side of the map where they had that 64% round win rate with already a lot of cushion. They're probably feeling very good about how things are going.
I'm a little sad I didn't get to see the lineup there, but it doesn't matter. They're lining up. No, 2 for 2 we go. So favorable for both of these squads. I guess it does lean a bit in XSET favors. Player 1 down to 20 HP. He's only going to take a leg shot. There's the spike on the ground, so no tricks this time around. Zelsis and Vanity, I need to try and get something done. Vanity now needs to try and get something done as Zelsis unfortunately caught on the reload, and the headshots just too strong against that Reyna classic in hand. Just around a coin flip. A couple of right clicks could really swing this in favor of V1.
Yeah, great round, though, by BCJ. Just shutting down that sewers push and the patience around that paint shell with the Ghost to make sure he found the good shots, didn't just spam bullets away. I'm going to admit, I'm a little bit of a BCJ bias. I'll just go ahead and say it. I've known the guy back when he used to play a little game called Battalion 1944. Some people may remember that. It's a World War II shooter that kind of died, if we're honest, a couple of years back. But he was a fixture of the NA scene in that game and did really well. As that was just some shenanigans going on there. Nothing to see here. And then he went on to play Apex Legends for a bit with T1. And you know, I didn't really follow that game, so I'm not sure exactly how well things went. But he's made a great transition to Valorant, and he's kind of slowly worked his way up the rungs of what teams he's been able to get opportunities on. This has been his biggest opportunity yet, and he's really capitalized on it. I feel like really starting to turn some heads. Glad to see him do well. He's a really nice guy. And yeah, big play that round. Keeping XSET in the hunt, as they should be able to get a little bit of a freebie in this round. Keep the score close.
Pistol round, always incredibly important. We've actually seen, I believe, both bonuses lose in this series. I guess all 3 bonuses lose when we found a team in that bonus round. So I wonder if that's going to be the case here. We'll see what XSET can get done, because they did opt all into Spectre, so they might be looking for a tighter run and gun strategy come round 3 of this half, although they've got some information that B might be the place Version-1 is keeping their eye on. Now spotting out both duelists. Shrouded step to get the spike down, and yep, they are just going to send it. Ooh, Satchel, the blast pack going to stop the plant for now, and Vanity just going to take his lead back on out, and they've got to reassess, but they don't really have the facilities to do it as the kills start to come on through, and you were hoping for a spike plant, but at the end of the day, you really just walk away with nothing. A nice little flawless there.
Yeah, good reads there by BCJ with the drone. Got a lot of intel. Not only did he get the dart off, but he was able to keep it alive and get even more intel on the follow-up flight. And as you said, there was a great satchel there from Aaron to push the plant off and allow them to get into sight and start challenging up middle with the superior firepower and just, you know, cleaning up the round. Now the bonus comes into play for XSET. Spectres across the board, up against a fully rifled Version-1. XSET, I feel like this is the bonus you need to get. This would be the one to really put through to keep this one close. If U1 are able to knock this one, they're going to really, again, just kind of get that momentum right back.
And, well, it's already starting pretty good for Version-1 on the bonus of XSET, finding that first kill. It stinks that Zelsis forced to use that dismiss getaway. Oh, my goodness. Penny through the wall finds Dwifo again.
Bro, that is absolutely filthy that he just did that. I mean, show some mercy, man. He's got a family.
Yeah. And that is, it was once over towards A lobby. Now this time out towards B, just finding the headshots through the wall. And that is kind of like a, here, take this. But sometimes you find the kill. Like, if you're going to shoot at me, I'm going to shoot back at you now. XSET do need to start shooting back here. They're down to their last 2, and we was able to upgrade the weapon.
I want a slow-mo replay of that, because that was ridiculous. This round's done. We just got to get the heck out of there.
Yeah.
Bringing over a Vandal's nice. They all had Spectres into this. Those decide to fold anyway. And my goodness, sir. Take a bow. What a shot. It was like one of his first bullets, too. Look at this.
Oh.
Thank you for the slow-mo. Great observation. Yeah. Straight wreck, bro.
Love to see it.
just like, what do you do if you're Dwifo there? You're like, guys, I don't know what you want from me. Oh my goodness.
That is one of those things. You just got Valoranted right there. That's it. There's no analysis, no nothing. I mean,
there is one layer to it where it's like at least he knew, you know, the timing and where to spam, but still, a little bit of luck involved, obviously. This is really fast garage control from V1. I mean, that is rapid.
And not incredibly noisy. Obviously, you know that they're probably playing this. Okay, well, now you definitely know that there's a handful there. I was going to say, you don't know how many, but that Cam getting a whole lot of info.
Knowledge is half the battle, Tanner, unfortunately. Oh, that's a great catch, though.
And that's the other half of the battle, is finding those shots on target. Weighted, taking down player 1, takes a whole lot of utility now off the board for this version 1 squad. And Pure has the operator playing back towards that defender-sided spawn, looking to come on through from that B connector. And that's not the best angle to find yourself. Aaron gonna go up top with the blast pack, dismissed to get away, but the kill's being traded back and forth. This Slipo still alive, still looking to go to work. There's the operator getting the job done, and Vanity with 10 HP, maybe Benunce to Pure as he popped the Blade Storm. But they have to go for the defuse here. Vanity not going to find the shots on target. It's a right click from Pure, and it really just took probably the wind of those blades to cut down the Omen on 10 HP. But either way, XSET closed the gap.
Yeah, I think that catch-in window was just so big. It gave them that instant 5-on-4 on the retake. Gave them a little bit more manpower to start forcing those trades up close on the back hauls. I mean, obviously a good attempt there by Vanity and Zelsis to hold it off. They were starting to put some frags together, but eventually XSET were able to pull the trigger on a couple of big kills, get into the 2-on-1, and then close. And that's going to keep this game close, keep that 2-0 for XSET possible. Another big round up here with both economies so fragile. This could be XSET looking to tie up the game here and now at the victory, or Version 1 holding them off and moving very close to map point. This is such a big round. Penny popping the daggers, trying to add to how lethal he can be. He could be such a pivotal tip of the spear to unlock something for Version 1 to hold off this comeback.
Hunter's Fury popped from BCJ, trying to find something. Unfortunately, not going to get too much there. It's slow. We're getting back to rifles across the board, and
you can see the game plan
teams
here, right? I mean, your XSET 1 is set up for that play with the Hunter's Fury that they already have here. Gonna be a tough call, though. Version 1 obviously have theirs as well on Effie's. They want to try to set up... I thought they were trying to set up for the C-take and then have him pitch back, as we often see on this map, since the beginning of time, I feel like, in Valorant.
Yeah.
And it looks like now they are going to double it up here. Vanity held position at closet this whole time, and now they're going to come back and try to make it work. Actually,
there's that Hunter.
Take.
Yeah, trying to clear some things out. Slipo chips down, but the rest of the squad closing out the kills. It's a 2-for-2 across the map, and that Spike yet to go down. Now Zelsis looking to find the plant after using that Empress. Stars to follow from Weeded here on the Astra. They've got to find the retake. Zelsis chipped down low HP.
One enemy remaining.
Aaron finding it. Oh my goodness, Effie's with the collateral. A couple of huge kills. Leaves it all up to Weeded here. No stars available, no ultimate, no utility, and no HP. Version 1 battle back here after a couple of rounds and punch their ticket to double digits.
Yeah, that early use of the Hunter's Fury, while not the insurance policy to hold off a defuse, just created a lot of havoc to get XSET some space. V1 some space, I should say. V1 making that push up, clearing things out. They go up to 10, and this is where XSET are in some trouble. They will be able to get some Buckies in play, a couple of Spectres being purchased as well, but I mean, their economy is kind of ravaged for the rest of the half with this decision.
Nailed them.
Ooh.
That's another big piece off the board. Yeah.
Hoping to find anything there. Well, not that, right? Not even any damage traded out. Yeah, sure, you have a Sheriff and you're looking to play aggressive, but that was definitely a full send moment from Pure.
Absolutely. Some jet-on-jet action. Penny coming up on top. Penny has, again, just been playing so well this map. Had so much value added to his side as we see another exchange kind of break out here. Now B's being laid upon by Version 1. We see Aaron trying to step through to disrupt it, unable to do so as Elsa stamps them out. And now they have a 4-on-2 post plant, and they look absolutely money on this map. They have just been awoken finally here after having a tough call in the first one.
Ooh, waited. I'd say does have a rifle. Nice little junk peek there. Unfortunately, only going to amount to 1 kill. And BCJ going to get a whole lot done, but going to find a whole lot of nothing there as Zelsis sits him down for a 3K on the round. Like you said, that buy-up, it makes things a little interesting. You might not be full utility or full shields across the board. We'll see what XSET can get done. And if there was ever a time to mount your comeback, Dust, it's right now. You're looking at 11. You got 1 round to play with. You have 1 round to goof. But hopefully they don't do that. They need 4 in a row to tie things up.
Yeah, going to be very tough. Again, Version-1, a very potent team on the attack. They're going to keep the op in play in the hands of Vanity on the Omen. Want Penny to have that rifle with the jet. Again, that grab while slowing down that A lobby timing, and that's allowing Pure to get aggressive here. And so, again, that is the impact that Astra can have defensively on this map. Unfortunately for them, Version-1 just don't really worry about that. They're kind of, focused more on penetrating B, C side. They've been kind of avoiding all that. And look at this link play.
Ooh. Zelsis gets spotted out, a little bit of chip damage, but yeah, they push all the way through A-Link, open up so much space on this B site to get that spike planted. And this retake on the B site, it's something we see a lot, but it's not always the easiest. You have a whole lot to worry about, just like player 1 trying to creep on through, but Dwipo privy, and here comes the rest of the information. Neural theft to give it all away. Penny the next to fall. Showstopper gonna go wide, and Zelsis will trade the kill on out. Rifle versus ultimate. Rifle comes out every single time. Vanity gonna miss the op shot once more, and Dwipo had himself a round, only losing 1 here as XSET as a punch to 8.
Yeah, I'm kind of disappointed in Version-1 for having control of the link, having the post plant, and still electing to just funnel themselves into site and middle. I think that the key to being successful on the B post plant is to make sure that you have either garage control or you have control of that A link. It means that you're not kind of pigeonholed one direction, and it just it makes it harder for a team to retake because they have more space they have to take back, more angles they have to worry about. And obviously, when you kick the neural theft in on top of all that, it just makes it a much easier read for XSET to work things out. Obviously, praise to XSET for great coordination on that retake after losing so much ground so early in the round, but I think Version-1 could have done better to close that thing out if they had kept a little bit of that space they had taken for themselves.
Cage triggered.
No longer an operator here on Haven for either of these teams, which is interesting that we don't get to see a whole lot of it. We didn't see a whole lot from Penny yesterday either, so
yeah, it's understandable on the attacking side, honestly. Also, Vanity missed a couple of sitters there, so I think maybe he just wants to get away from it, and I can't blame him. He's been very effective with rifles. Look at the Dwipo.
In a really good spot. Unfortunately, player 1, you can't say the same. Caught out on the lurk by Aaron pushing through, and those are both duelists. Oh my goodness, Dwipo not spotted just yet. Able to trade 1 kill, and well, he got his. That's all that really matters at that point. Able to get a bit of chip damage is BCJ deploying the shock darts on the site, looking for some more. And Penny dangerously low now in a very bad spot, playing maybe a bit too aggressive.
I like this.
That Cosmic Divide cuts the map in half. The Paranoia gonna cut the vision, shut the lights out, but BCJ trades 2 right back, and Effie's on the flank. He's only got 10 HP, but can he find the information? Can he pick up both players here? 10 HP, picks up 1. Aaron, the last one standing, has a Hunter Shuri available as well. Recon Bolt gonna be destroyed. Now just trying to buy as much time as he possibly can. Here come the satchel charges. 10 HP, not able to get it done. It's the classic for Aaron, and XSET hang on a bit longer.
Oh my goodness, man. I think that was a great use of Cosmic Divide to ensure that Version-1 could not really play post plant from long C, and it could help them establish their own maneuvers. It got scary, though, as Effie's was being very intelligent in that 1v2 to get as much info as he could. He eventually just had to bite the bullet, take the shots on BCJ, and try to play out the clutch with the Hunter's Fury, but just a great use of Raze here from Aaron to close that distance on a very low health Effie's, and just knowing that he was low, he's able to use the Burst Classic, knew that just any little bullet that landed would do the job, and he's able to keep XSET in this hunt as the economy's starting to get a little bit low on Version-1 all of a sudden. In fact, both economies are very fragile, Tater, and this could be a wild ride up ahead depending on how this round plays out.
The round leading into that 8th round win for XSET was the one that they needed. And that right there is another kill they need onto Zelsis. no less. So we get to take a look at our player versus player in that Hunter's Fury.
Wow.
And it's BCJ coming out on top.
Yeah, he got such a great read early to be able to pop that Hunter's Fury and guarantee a frag, essentially. As we see Penny and company still trying to lay in on A with the daggers and what they have to work with. Neural Theft comes out as well here to help things along for Version-1, but there's still a man down here trying to hold off this retake, and still a lot of utility left on BCJ, but he's getting pushed, but he's able to fall back.
Ooh, but he does get spotted by that recon bolt. They're not going to follow up on it. Oh, no, player one does. So player one pushing all the way through, cutting it down. The even retake here. Dwifo gonna find the kill there. Penny just floating across the site. We're in a 2v1 as FB so far off the site. It's already halfway. And just like that, we're one round apart,
Oh, my. This is getting real spicy all of a sudden. Version-1's lead is gone. They were up 8-4 at the half transition. Yeah, they lost the pistol in the follow-up, but they were able to reclaim pretty early a couple of rounds to keep their lead flowing, but now the gap has withered away. They are right in a spot where XSET are just on their heels. And the money, again, is just in such a tight spot for both teams still. But they're both able to bring forward both rifles. Pure looking to the aggressive on long C this time around. Could be big if they're able to control this, as it looks like V1 are setting up for a C-split through Garage. BCJ going to get a bit of a read on that with the drone onto Penny.
Zelsta's not spotted, so this could be a round for that player should they choose to play this way. It is going to be the drone, and now XSET aware that a bit more going to be thrown towards this Garage position. Shock Dart's looking to push everybody away for now. And a little bit of chip damage, not too much found.
Love the lack of commitment there from BCJ to make sure he stays alive and just holds window. They know that B is potentially under siege. Aaron has the boombot still available if need be. Vanity, though, going to get to Gong with the ult, make sure that B is completely under their control. They will get the spike planted, but again, can they defend the retake? Last time they struggled to do so, but Vanity holds BCJ off.
Yeah, 5 HP as they're starting to cut down XSET as they push on the site. No, the kill's coming right back. Weeded gonna be traded out. We find ourselves in a 2v2, but the Neural Theft will give up the info once more. Effie's gonna get swung on. Dwifo with a nice little 3K on the round, looking for some more, and player one has to go huge. We're gonna find ourselves tied, but instead, it's a 4K for the Cypher of XSET, and we're not at 11.
Yet again, Version-1 in the post plant getting locked into the site. They can never really escape and find other post plant positions to spread the love. They just got boxed in. The Neural Theft comes through. XSET able to trade back very well, and ultimately they get a round win. Showstopper now available for Aaron. Pure away from the daggers by just one. And now they've tied the game up. They have the economic superiority starting to come into play on the late end here of the second half where it matters most. They're starting to find a rhythm as well. Big quad kill there from Dwifo. And you can see what this has done to Version-1. They have some guns coming into this, but you have a Spectre for player one having to be used just to make sure that they can have something. And yeah, they're starting to fade a little bit here. A timeout comes into play. Not a bad call. The problem is they're so far from ults except for Effie's and player one. So it's really just going to come down to their base utilities and firepower. Meanwhile, again, Showstopper in play. Cosmic Divide not too far off. Daggers for Pure are not too far off. And they're starting to pick up steam just momentum-wise when it comes to form and just some of the decision-making. What can Version-1 do? Looks like they want to try to put that pressure on A, but again, it's going to be so hard with those stars slowing down their A lobby control. Again, that's the power of Astra, and she doesn't even have to be there to do it. Can set up Aaron to get that forward progression.
And he does dash on through, though, with that sound cue. I would imagine Aaron knows that Jet looked to play up close and personal. And that Showstopper, the only ultimate online, a huge one for this squad. BCJ gets caught on the rotate out. Weeded still undetected. Picks up one onto player one. Now trying to play around the site with 45 HP. There's the Showstopper trading the kills back. And Aaron continues to go to work on this Version-1 squad. Penny away from the squad.
Oh.
They're kind of split up here, but could have the flank, and it looks like that Spike headed the opposite direction.
Penny is the linchpin of this round. He is the one that could blow this thing back up in Version-1's favor. He's got B control. He can even go A-Link. XSET are a little bit weary of this. Look how they're traveling together in a pack. They know that they can concede the plant. They will just play out the 3-on-2 retake if they have to. They want to make sure that they're not getting backstabbed so easily. I love this discipline from XSET. This is very intelligent. Yeah, you're giving up all the map. That's fine. You need to make sure that you're not having the wool pulled over your eyes in any sort of way. No gimmicks. You just want to be able to play this thing outright 3-2. And now time is starting to fade. Vanity has to make a call. Looks like B will likely be the planning zone. He'll be able to maybe get back towards middle. He tries to throw a bit of a fake with the smoke on A side. Penny goes looking through Link, but yeah, look at XSET just holding pattern.
Really nice, and they cut noise while doing it, so you really have no information here. If you are Version-1, now that Spike has been planted in the retake, positions a bit better than being corralled on the site, but not something that you should be worried about if you are XSET. The two players standing aren't necessarily ones that I'm expecting to do a whole lot in the close quarters. Aaron just looking to stick, and he goes halfway. The spray comes through. The Jet gonna be sat down. Vanity still alive with 51 HP. The Spike is halfway. Can Vanity clutch things out? Yes, he can. There it is. Map point now on the horizon.
Such a big round from Vanity. Such a big moment for Version-1 to pull off the 2v3 post plant, especially considering the Spike went down halfway very quickly there by Dwifo, and I think it just came back to the fact that they didn't really check on Penny. And again, that was a big difference, right? They weren't just funneling to site in mid. They had control of window room. That gave Penny an alternate angle to shut down the retake, something that they were lacking in some of their other B executes. And I feel like that made the world of difference in allowing them to close out the round and take the lead back. And now it all comes down to this. Will we see overtime, or will we see Version-1 into the closest margin possible?
Blades online. Frenzy in hand for Pure. Everybody on that Version-1 side quite far from the ultimates, but we'll see how things continue to shape up here. Spike still down in the spawn as Penny looks to creep up once more, and they put a lot of pressure on this B side with the duelists.
Yeah, they've been doing that time and time again. Aaron's going to spot it pretty early this time around. Pulls out the boom bot to try to further slow down the progression onto B site. Stars start to get dropped as well near some of the planning zones. Pure has daggers popped, ready to fight immediately, but Vanity again doing so well, picking players off. Pure, though, strikes right back.
1 for 2, favorable for Version-1 as Effys looks to get the Spike down. Close to that Hunter. Sure, he doesn't have it just yet. It's all down to the last, and Version-1 will get it done. We kind of have, maybe I have at the very least, have been a bit harder on this Version-1 squad, saying, well, you know, Bind might not be their map, but we quite possibly don't know what to expect coming into this one.
I don't. Yeah, I'm not really sure how proficient they will be. I mean, everyone kind of knows how to play out default Bind and all the gimmicks of the teleporters and kind of the general meta of the map. I'm sure V1 are, you know, have no ignorance in that regard, as Effys is going to clear out U-Haul with the drone, wall up from Zelfs to allow them to threaten U-Haul even further. Some stars are up close, but they come a little bit late as they're able to penetrate the site.
Yeah, and a very interesting turret inside of U-Haul there. Way to get to find the first kill on the sky, and the shock darts looking to start chipping away for BCJ. That Spike now going down. It is going to be that 5v4 retake. Set in favor by a player. Dwifo kind of on the flank here, but taking a whole bunch of damage. They're able to pick him up, though, whether it be utility or the pistols. They cut him down. A near flawless round here in this one, unless Vanity can go to work, and that he cannot. 5 standing as XSET take the pistol.
Yeah, that's the thing about playing a Skye and a Sova, is you get so much info gathering capabilities with those two agents. I mean, you get the Trailblazer, you get the drone, you get the Recon Bolt. That is so great for scouting early, as well as setting up for retakes. You obviously have all of Astra's utility. Basically, you just have so many tools at your disposal of trying to work rounds out, on top of course, also having the Boombot to get intel and take space. So, I mean, it is just a lot to work against if you're V1, and a lot to put to use if you're XSET to, you know, get a lay of the land, I guess you could say. So, interesting composition from XSET. You don't see a lot of teams doubling up on Skye and Sova. Especially in this region.
And the best part about that information is it's the forward information, right? That's your sentinels do get you some information, but when you're throwing out the recon bolt, you're throwing out the guiding light, you're getting so much without having to give up really anything. So it is nice to have both of that as the guiding lights continue to go through. It's an eco or an anti-eco here for XSET, so we're expecting the bodies to just hit the floor
like
for version 1. Ooh, they're hoping to, at the very least, get a plant. Teleport comes through. Vanity still spike in hand. Unfortunately, stuck where he stands inside the cubby. And another flawless on the horizon here. Player 1 trying to do some damage back. Okay, there it is. Makes me eat my words. A near flawless. 4 still standing for XSET. They pick up the anti-eco, but now we get to see version 1 go to work.
I never thought I would get a drowning pool reference in during a Valorant broadcast, but we were able to get there, so... I'm sure
I'm all over the place.
Yeah,
I'm working. I'm cooking in the lab here.
I can't believe you didn't give me some type of shout out or praise that I read that. Like, you threw it out there and I just immediately had it, and I got nothing from you in response. A little bit disappointed. All the Zoomers are like, "Who's drowning pool?" You know, just give yourself a Google. Give yourself a chance. Here we go. First real attacking round. Look at this aggression from XSET. Can't blame them. They want to put those Spectres up close. Maybe get that early intel for quick rotations.
And a whole lot of information that just about everybody is there as Vanity looks to escape. It's the guiding lights, the recon bolt, now the trailblazer, the spike on the ground. They're looking to just nest egg as Zelsis tries to go aggressive. A double kill with the boom bot. Pure's going to pick up another with the Spectres, and they're making the bonus hurt. You wouldn't even know it was a bonus.
Bruh. I bet you Vanity's about to have another tweet that's about to go along the lines of, like, Sky, a really fun agent to play against. Bro, look at how much stuff got lobbed at him there. He got a boombot lobbed at him, a paint shell lobbed at him, a couple of guiding lights, a trailblazer. He got some help from his teammate Player 1 coming over from shower side, but I mean, they were just launching everything at him, and he's the one that had spike possession, so that really threw a wrench in things. Again, that is a perfect demonstration when we watch that replay of just how much utility XSET had to throw at you to create pressure, get information, push you back, set up retakes. I mean, it's just a lot to handle and read. And on a bonus round like that, you just can't anticipate that much assertiveness through that hallway.
Exactly, and a really strong way to play it. You know, there's a lot of long angles on bind. These Spectres don't usually win those fights, so they just push the fight right to you. Now, Effie's, excuse me, making it hurt just a bit, but it's upgrades for the 3 remaining. BCJ and We Did going to be A-okay to buy rifles into this next. And once more, puts version 1 back down to pistols. This is, I'm not going to say that it's done yet or it's the same exact thing, but this is exactly how we started on Split.
Yeah, that was just relentless aggression from XSET. Again, a team that is very good at those dynamic defensive setups. When you watch some of their previous matches, they're very good at moving, the Wifos utility around on Killjoy, setting up aggression at showers or short or, into hookah. Like, they are very good at making it hard to read what their intentions are. And now we have version 1 on the pistols only. Zelsis already receiving some heat and showers, has to heal back, but does get out of there with the orb to build up that run it back, 1 away from it. That'll be a vital weapon. Maybe even later on in this round, though you would think they probably save it for next. Might be able to get this orb, though, towards Octagon and start creating some pressure. They are making that pivot with Zelsis, in fact.
Ooh,
there it is. And you can get a rifle
Zeus
and use it. They might actually go for it here,
And I mean, that's the best you could hope for. Took a lot of damage on one side of the map, swaps on over and picks up a kill. Nice little run-in headshot there.
I'll tell you what, if I'm V1, I'm considering it. You lost the bonus round. You have a 5-on-4. You have Zelsis with ult and a Phantom. Like, it might be worth a go. They have hookah control.
And it just makes the next round a standard round. You just won't have that ultimate, but you'll be on full rifle. So yeah, I think you're absolutely right. And maybe to take a chance on it. Penny, unfortunately, shot down through the dark cover. The spike is going to be planted, and that run it back held on for a moment longer. Now Smoke's taking off the board. Player 1 going to fall as well. The shock darts, and Zelsis might have a 2-man spray. I don't know. BCJ privy to the angle as Aaron cuts down Effie's at the end there. The 4th round to XSET. And again, we find version 1 on rifles, and Dust, they hung on to the ultimate, so this should be the round.
Yeah, it wasn't like you'd have to do it. It was kind of more of like a let's maybe consider it type of thing, I think. But I think once they started to meet a little bit more resistance, it became less and less probable that they could win with it. And so holding it until this round makes total sense. You combine that with neural theft as well. They are certainly going to pack a wallop coming into their first buy round here. So we are going to see this time around the utility of Thwifo being set up on the opposite side. Again, varying where he's going to be anchoring, making it a little bit harder on the attack to read. Full buy, though, finally in effect. Look at this from Pure, though. Such a quick blast pack up. Again, this short A aggression.
And has some info that these players are here. Tosses it into the cyber cage. Now 2 going to be spotted out. Zelsis to find the first. Still has the run it back available. Swings for the next off the back end of a curveball. There's the ultimate use. The neural theft instead as Aaron trades back 2. So a 2 for 2 across the map, but still favorable on the rifle here for version 1 as Aaron finds himself on 2 HP. And unfortunately, that Sky taking off the board, so no regrowth.
Yeah, that's a great job by Zelsis, though, kind of countering that aggression through short A, getting a couple of kills and keeping themselves on, you know, equal footing. Aaron very low on HP, however. That's going to make things a little bit even easier on version 1 to try to hold off this retake. Aaron's so vulnerable, and Penny still has control of hookah. This retake's being funneled one direction.
Effie's, although inside of that elbow position, could look to play for the ultimate. Aaron going to be taken down. A pretty simple kill to come on through. Now Thwifo needs to try and find a way to get something done. 1 kill away from the lockdown, but not finding the shots on target just yet. Vanity going to be the one to close things out as Penny went sky high, but either way, version 1 on the board.
Again, I think it starts with Zelsis and how efficient he was putting that pressure throughout sewers, or excuse me, throughout showers, I should say. Coming in here, getting the double kill onto Weeded and BCJ, not allowing that push from Pure Showstopper to have really any impact, and then just pivoting very quickly. And again, Zelsis has not had to burn to run it back yet, so they still have that trump card to put into play. Now, you kind of want to use it soon. You don't want it to sit on it forever. You want to build it back up again, so I'd imagine this is the round where you should probably see it come out.
Especially when Zelsis is, you know, having the game that he's having. You know, you're finding those kills. You're going to get it back. You can also just continue to funnel as much as you can. They're playing so much over towards that shower position.
And it's just something that sometimes CS players just kind of forget about, honestly. Like, I remember there's one game, I feel like, where Kusta did sit and use an ult for a whole half or something like that. It was wild. So I doubt that happens here for Zelsis. I'm sure he's on top of things here. But BCJ trying to slow things down with the Hunter's Fury through long B side. Does just that, kind of pushes version 1 back a little bit. Now it will drone to try to get some intel over towards Hookah. Again, some of the utility of the Thwifo is still in position here. Turret is going to get alerted, and there's that run it back from Zelsis.
And they're rotating on over. That Cypher still holding it down towards that A site. The run it back comes through. Not going to find too much, but a bit of information as Effie sends a shot through his teammate, and the teleports now underway. It was the Seekers and the Trailblazer used here in this round. 2 of them going to be cut down before they can find their mark, and that Spike still trying to come on the side, but there's player 1. He was on the lurk, now making it hurt, but 2 quick kills coming right back. A 2v3, and the Spike yet to be planted. Version 1 cut down to their last. It's Penny. He's got the showstopper. He's trying to make it hurt. He's got 9 HP, but unfortunately doesn't have the angle. Raze v Raze. The teleport to come on through, and the post-plant to follow. Running out of time, but version 1 at the very least, but they get to play off the Spike.
Yeah, health advantage for Penny as well. Oh, Pure. What a play. 4 kills. Saved the day, because I thought that player 1's about to end that round in favor of version 1. He had such a great lurk at A with all that B pressure going on. Found an opening and thought he had sealed the deal, but such a great round from Pure.
That hurts the soul.
Oh, it does. Yes. I mean, you're falling behind on the scoreboard. You finally have a big opportunity where Penny has the health advantage, did all the right things to get Spike back, get it down with little time to spare at B. Had a good read of the situation as well in the rotation, and just lost the one-on-one duel to Pure despite having the health advantage. And now Pure has the ult, so does Aaron, and you have to wonder if more aggression's in the cards. Looks like they're going for long B hard.
the blind onto one. Recon Bolt not gonna get the information just yet. Unfortunately, the Bucky not enough to get anything done for Weeded there, but the paint shells on the other hand, just enough to push Effie's back. Version-1 still in the driver's seat when it comes to numbers, but a lot of their players whittled away here. A couple just about 30 HP.
It's a big opening kill to get the 5-on-4, but it was very costly. Effie's and player 1 are just bleeding out right now. Very vulnerable targets as they're trying to paint shell Pure out of position at Hookah. They do it, but he sticks his ground for 1, but that's not good enough when you're already a player down. That's not the trade you'd like to get. You're starting to leak some weapons over to Version-1. They're starting to, again, keep that man count in their favor, and now they're able to make this pivot to A side. Now, all this, Killjoy utility is here, as well as a couple of stars. It's going to be a tough push, but definitely have some opportunities now, thanks to some of these entries.
From the shadows over towards the B side, it is going to be canceled. I thought maybe he sticks it, not spotting out anything, but information now there. Cosmic Divide going to come down. Aaron feeling it pretty appropriate to use it here in this round as the cage goes through. Player 1 gets caught out. It was just a pistol. And now the numbers are even. But again, things aren't looking too good for Version-1 here in this round. They're going to need a couple of 1-taps in order to find a whole lot. They've got some utility to play with. Here comes that retake. BCJ gonna look straight to the smoke. Vanity picks up 1. Effie's gonna be traded out on that. Vanity inside the dark cover. Now in a 1v1, and this is a pretty good spot. Zelsis, the healthiest player on the squad, playing right on the spike. The swing comes through, and Zelsis gets it done.
Big round here, 1 against for Version-1. It was a round that they were struggling to kind of get through, right? They didn't have the best firepower. The aggression at Long B was going against them, but they were able to get some big picks up through Hookah side, maintain the man advantage, even with vulnerable players on the field. I thought they were in some trouble when we saw that push into showers and the numbers equalized, but they were able to just kind of get deep into the defensive side. Despite BCJ's efforts, they were able to find picks elsewhere.
Let us hunt.
And Zelsis wins a big 1v1, and the gap is starting to fade just a bit, though XSET are still in control, and they're once again looking to get aggressive on this fountain position. Effie's trying to counter as best he can by his lonesome. In the meantime, Penny trying to take control of Hookah side, will push the defense out of place. Trailblazer comes to counter him, though. Again, he's still unable to attain it, and now Weeda can take it back for himself instead. Nanoswarm is also set up in there.
There's so much information gathering. There's so much information.
This composition is the info composition.
Yeah. I'm interested to see how
it's
well
info
it
plus
works.
smokes, basically.
Yeah.
I have the spike.
And information is really half the battle, like you said on that last map. So on the attacking side, I would imagine it works pretty well, or just as well as it does here on the defense. XSET still ahead 5-2, and this time around a very slow approach to this round for Version-1 as they're making sure they do their due diligence. Aaron gonna find the first kill. That is on player 1, the lurker over towards A. The last time we saw that play happening, it was a teleport, a run through showers, and player 1 has made it all the way towards that defender side of spawn. This time around, they're looking to just take the hit right to B. A couple of kills back and forth. Again, the B site not free. All 3 members stacked up towards the back halls. Version-1 looking to push on, and they should be able to get the spike down.
Penny had a little bit of a gap there over the top of the smoke. I thought he was maybe going to make something happen, but it's BCJ instead lining them up with the Phantom from back hall. Shock Dart lands the mark as well, and BCJ is just too darn good on that Sova, man.
BCJ ulted at the end of the round.
Did he? Oh, no. I thought I heard it, but I wasn't sure. But yeah, the HUD really tells the story there. That is a misfire if I've ever heard of one. Does that mean I have to take all the praise back? That's a big cross cancel there. How about this?
Yeah,
good effort from BCJ. Really tough ult on the back side of it.
Yeah, it basically boils down to a neutral play. That play just became average from BCJ. Either way,
it went from a 10 out of 10 to like a 7 out of 10.
Exactly. Yep.
And that's generous.
And C's get degrees. Now, speaking of Sovas, it's not BCJ, it's Effie's to find a kill with the ultimate. Penny can hop on the board as well. Pure forced to use a showstopper, but picking up the kills in response. They continue to go to work back and forth on this A site. We find ourselves once more in a 2v2 situation. and nothing has been free in this game. We've yet to see some flawlesses coming on through. They're always able to find these situations where just about everybody dies, and we're in another one.
Again, we talk about how these two teams are both very aggressive, so you kind of expect some sparks to fly in some of these early to mid-round confrontations as we see the 2-on-2 continue to play out here. U-Haul still not being recaptured by XSET just yet. Still a very tough retake ahead of them here. Oh, a timing caught, though, by Dwifo onto Effie's. That could change everything. It's up to Celsius now.
Yeah, and the clock is ticking, though. Somebody's got to get on the spike, and they do have enough time. That is unfortunate for Celsius, just getting sprayed down as he peeked up the back end of the curveball. And XSET, they start to bring it back. But Version-1, you can see, Dust, the cogs are turning. The wheels are turning.
I wonder if the lockdown was really worth it there. That's kind of my question at the end of it, because that could be two ults burnt with little value or little necessity. But Glypho, again, just such a great timing there onto Effie's and catches Zelsis right away. It does force Zelsis to play into them, though, when he puts the lockdown in, so I think it still did have value. Couldn't play more passive, had to engage or basically concede the defuse. So, yeah, I guess it was a good call in the end, but, man, XSET are starting to really capture control of this one. We see some aggression, though, from Aaron to kick things off here in showers. What can Version-1 do? I don't know if they faced this yet.
This is...
Oh, didn't quite go through.
I believe that star was used over towards that A short area. Won't have gravity well here, but they do have the crossfire. The hat comes off, but caught with his hands off his weapons. It is a 2v2, though, on this A site once more. And we're down to an even battle as Pure finds a nice little 3K, low HP, has to take his leave back towards the shower, and Vanity, expecting the peak, brings us once more to a 2v2. The teleport to come on through, and we'll see what Penny decides to get done here. Oh, Vanity actually maybe bringing it back here.
It looks like he is. I was a little bit concerned that Pure might be overextending a little bit there in some of those fights, but 2-on-2 nonetheless is where we're dealt. BCJ gets caught by Penny right in the dome. Now all on Dwifo. Another port, a fake one at that, though, making Dwifo kind of think things through, puts the turret out, trying to hold his ground. Now they fully commit both players to the port. Now he knows what's up. And now he's going to have that cooldown on the turret, so it's really just going to come down to himself and his peaks.
Spike planted.
And that second player could have gone really anywhere. There it is, Penny matching Pure's 3K on the round for Version-1. They're trying to claw back, grab everything they can. 7-5, the best half they can get here. And that's a pretty good way to lean in that direction, because the economy for XSET struggling a little bit.
Indeed it is. Again, this has just been kind of a slugfest of a battle. Both teams just throwing haymakers left and right with these aggressive plays, and we're starting to see Version-1 at least being able to piece together a few rounds and keep themselves in contention, though certainly XSET still maintain a sizable lead. Though this round they have little to work with. 4 Buckies and 1 Vandal. Gonna be a tough ask. They're trying to play some closer angles, see if they can get some value, but again, it's gonna come down to whether or not Version-1 gift them any opportunities in some of these close quarters. And player 1 says, nah, Chief. Not me.
And that feels pretty good, because player 1 kind of been getting the rough end of things over towards that A site. Every time trying to lurk on up. Only really getting value in one of the plays or one of the rounds that we've seen thus far for a play like that. So a nice little pickup with that pick. They bring up the rear and head back towards this A site, which has been, I mean, a bloodbath. A lot of bodies dropping here on this A site. This round might not be that one. Either way, Spike goes down, and a retake now will ensue.
Yeah, there is a showstopper in play as well as Seeker, so a couple of vital pieces that XSET could use to work this out. Pure getting a little bit of space there to get into the corner and try to see if they can't make some progress. Zelfs is cutting off this U-Haul angle, however, it is traded, and the rifle goes to XSET side. BCJ had to pull up the classic, but it's working out. XSET are making some progress. 2-on-2 now. Seeker's out.
Yep, and There's the Seekers, the showstopper right behind it. The ultimate you talked about gonna go good for a kill. 11 HP unweeded. The regrowth will not work on the Sky all by their lonesome. Just looking to stick it. Penny with the swing to close it out. 7-4 as we enter the last round of the half.
Yeah, good job there on Penny and all of that chaos to keep his wits about him on that timing, knowing when he must peek in case it was being stuck, and he read it perfectly. Able to win out the 1v1. Again, a lot of these rounds have come down to this, though, Tanner. It's been a lot of 2-on-2, 1-on-1 type post-plant situations, and each team has kind of taken their fair share of those moments, which is why the score is oh so close. Last round of the half now underway. We do see a lot of utility being set up here, like Wifo up short side. We did trying to, again, use the guiding light to put some pressure on Fountain. Counter recon gets put into Octagon. Again, that Astra shutting down some timings at Showers, allowing the defense to gain control.
And it sniffs out the lurk. Player one picks up one. The recon bolt didn't spot Weeded, and he's able to find a kill. Now with one more out towards Showers. Penny forced to try and back
in a
away
precarious
here.
position now.
Yeah.
He is stuck in the... You can understand why he had to escape. He was definitely going to get pinched in. This does unlock B-Site, though, for version 1. They have a 3-on-4 ahead of them, though. That's the one thing kind of working against them. So they are going to be able to get this spike down any moment at B, but again, the retake from XSET will be powerful with that man advantage.
And look at all the utility.
Spike planted.
Yes.
They've got basically everything.
Yes. You are correct.
This is... I would expect this to go very well.
Uh-oh.
I'm leaning on an 8-4. Zelsis looks to play inside the hot hands. Paint Shell's going to go through. There's both curveballs to Blazewall to try and slow things down. And hey, you don't have to take the fights here. You just got to buy the time. The spike is ticking down. There goes the boom bot. PCJ going to peek, but Penny trades it right back. Penny able to get another one, and here we go. A 1v1, but it's 10 HP on the raise. Paint Shell's going to go just a bit wide, and Aaron finds the spray down through the wall. XSET will get it done in the last round and bag 8 going into the next.
Bro, how many situations did we have that half where it just came down to 4 people dying in the blink of an eye and all of a sudden you're into a 1v1? Like, it just seemed like that happened so many times. It was very hard to follow at moments. And again, this comes down to both teams being willing to play that assertive play style. There's no passivity here between XSET and version 1. Yeah, they can play out a default at a medium pace if need be, but they are no strangers to just gathering up and hitting, you know, that go button and seeing what happens. And XSET just a little bit better in this half, but it was certainly closer than maybe the score even indicates, in my opinion. I think that could have very easily been 8-4 version 1's way if some of those 1v1, 2v2 type situations earlier in the half just went a little bit differently. So still very much up for grabs here is Bind, but XSET on the scoreboard do have that little bit more of a foundation underneath them.
Nice little tag there. Doesn't get all that much outside of the information that the Omen will be playing on this side, and quite possibly Paranoia. Penny hops up but gets taken down. What a shot by Wifo there to open things up, and guess what? Here come the guiding lights. It gets a whole lot worse from here for version 1.
I mean, XSET with this comp are built for speed for these set pieces on these sites. They had so much to throw down, the hold off the choke points, to get intel, to flash people into place and just brawl. And that's the type of style they really like to play, that 1-4 brawly style. And this time they just sent all 5, and they absolutely capitalized. They're up 9-4 now. Very likely we'll find a 10th, as version 1 will have to concede due to the economy. And XSET are starting to set themselves up nicely here. Pure up to 21 kills. He is well and above anyone else in the server right now, having a hell of a time on Raze, which is kind of new for him. You know, like, he's only recently started mixing that into his composition game. I was actually looking at it earlier. The man has 110 games played on Jet. This will be his 10th, I think, on Raze, or 11th. That's a pretty big difference.
Yeah.
In case you're not good with numbers. That's a lot.
Well, and I think a lot of it, too, goes for the rest of the squad being able to enable Pure to make the plays, right? This comp, it just seems like a a duelist go kill kind of comp where
But only one
they're
duelist.
going to be blinded, they're going to be pushed out. Yeah, exactly. So you don't have to split the kills if you're pure. You can drop 20 bombs or 30 bombs.
Yeah, but the thing is, Aaron plays duelists on other maps, right? So he's no stranger to being aggressive. So once he lays down those stars and he starts deploying them, then he can be that follow-up to pure if need be. Also, we did no stranger to being aggressive if need be once his utility's burnt. So they had those players that have that mentality of being willing to go at their teammates and be fearless, even if their agent isn't necessarily suited to be an entry. They can kind of get around that. But yeah, here's kind of that freebie round that XSET are looking for. They've already chipped away a heavy amount off of Vanity. And now Zelsis adds to that. Very low HP on 2 players now for Version-1.
And you're just hoping to find something on the close angles. Zelsis makes the bonus hurt for 1. ECJ taken off the board. Very low HP as that regrowth gets queued up. We did looking to help top his team up. Ooh, Zelsis picks up another nice little headshot there, and there goes the Bucky. Oh my goodness, this one looking a little bit winnable. Now down in the 2v2, Vanity backs away, Bucky in hand. There's a couple of rifles you can look to pick up, but Weeded starts to spray through the cyber cage. And Vanity, with only 9 health, probably not long for the world. And let me tell you, buddy, that Bucky's strong. I don't think it reaches out and touches that far.
Yeah, it's definitely not in the best place right now. That is very true. He's trying to, you know, make a little bit of something happen, laying the smokes down, teleporting around, trying to create a little bit of havoc, but Aaron will eventually push through and finish the job there, and both players will get away with those Spectres to try to roll them over into somewhat of a bonus round. Obviously, several players are going to have to spring for a weapon here. So firepower advantage will be there for Version-1. This is kind of their last chance, too, if we're honest. I mean, if they lose this, they're right back to no money, and they would basically be force buying the rest of the game, or playing for overtime with a save.
Yeah.
Which is a tough ask in this situation. So, yeah, this is very much kind of last chance saloon for them in this bracket. Again, they will bow out in 4th place with still a good chunk of change and a slot into the regional final. So, I'm sure they won't be tearing up too much about it, but a big opportunity here to try to take it a little bit further. They can find this round.
A lot of utility used, nice and early from both of these squads. Boombots, owl drones tossed on out. Doc Dart's going to be traded as well. Twyfo has since controlled this hookah area. Vanity able to use that shrouded step to get onto the site, so should be able to back the squad up quite a bit. It's looking like a full hit this way. Spectre in hand, Vanity going to be the first to fall, but rifles for the rest of the squad could turn things around. Recon bolts traded once more. Zephy's not able to find too much off the back end of that one. It's Penny to fall. Twyfo now getting that spike down, and it's all starting to fall apart here. Zelsis with the run it back. It's absolutely nothing. Sent right back from whence he came in a 2v4. Player 1 and Zelsis need to start to go huge. Twyfo to fall. Curveball goes on through. Looking like a peek from Weeded. He's able to find that kill as they push onto the side. It's a Spectre in hand, and unfortunately, the rifle comes crumbling down. XSET, pick them apart and get it done. Push to 11.
Yeah, I think one of the big talking points for this map, other than, you know, I love these 2v2s and how XSET were a bit better in the clutch, is going to have to be that not only did XSET win both pistols, they won both bonus rounds this game. And that's huge, because we know how often those bonus rounds can go awry because you're at a disadvantage when it comes to firepower, and you're having to, you know, play a little bit more of a limited strategy to make it work when you're keeping those Spectres. And, yeah, just they were able to convert both of those, and that's really made a big difference. Now look at what Version-1 has to contend with. They themselves have to play a similar setup to what a bonus round would be considered here, but this is their full buy. It's the best they can do. They're in a lot of trouble now. And a lockdown for Twyfo could, I mean, that's going to be potent. And the Seekers.
Yeah.
Pure is 1 away from a showstopper. I mean, they have so much going for them to close this.
And this setup that you're seeing from Version-1 quite possibly is going to be the same exact thing going into the next, right? You opted a lot into this one to try and play for the win. It's going to make it harder to find yourself playing for the overtime on Spectres, although that's a pretty great start. Weeded taken off the board. That's the heals. That's the Seekers now gone, and a player ahead for Version-1.
Yeah, that was a great little pinch through Portal and Hookah to try to, you know, put some pressure out there. They know that times are desperate as far as what they have to work with. So they have to kind of force a play, and they actually make it work. Zelsis is maintaining showers control as well with the rifle. Gets the spike down. This is great from Version-1. They are cleaning house right now. Nothing going the way of XSET. A flawless round for Version-1. And we said last chance saloon was kind of the previous round, but they still have some fight still left in them there. What a big play.
Yeah, I mean, I've said it a million times at this point, but that's the best time to start to battle back. And because it was a flawless round, their eco is A-okay going into the next. And 4 players on that squad upgraded from those Spectres. So yeah, it's only Effie's now on that one, who is going to hang on to it, but in a really good spot. It's almost the inverse for XSET, a couple of rifles and Spectres as well.
Yeah, but now you got Seekers, the Lockdown, and the Showstopper available for XSET to just add even more of a wallop to that aggressive play style, as they're just going to be looking to full send it up short A.
Oh, player one shoots him down through the smoke. There's the ultimate off the table. The Showstopper gets stopped itself. Vanity put in a bad spot. The Lockdown going to look to push everybody away, and unfortunately no Hunter's Fury to stop that one. So the A site should be taken, not for free from either team though. 1 for 1 we go. Vanity chipped away down to 25 health, and now the retake to ensue. BCJ on the lower end of things has a shock dart to work with, and we did still having some of that utility. Could prove to be a pain. Looks like the Trailblazer queued up. Aaron maybe looking to play off the back end of this. Cosmic Divide 2 points away, as is the Hunter's Fury. Vanity being tricky. He ends up making a step after the Shrouded. Spectre going to take him down on lower HP. Thwifo finds another to trade it out. It's down to the last 2 here. Make it the last one. Penny has to go huge and only goes good for 1. Map point now for XSET, as Version-1 have to string 7 in a row.
You're starting to like Version-1's chances there, right? They burnt all of XSET's ults. Seekers and Showstopper had little impact, but the big ol' Thwifo ult just did everything, didn't it, right? There was no way to shut down, as you said. There was no Hunter's Fury to blow it away, so they were able to get control of A site, push everyone off site, and that gives them better chances to set up for post-plant positioning inside U-Haul and elsewhere to make it harder for that retake to come through. So the Lockdown having its full impact, and so despite some of the, I guess, adversity they faced, losing here, they were able to battle through it.
Next set, just looking to be quick with it here. It is a full buy for Version-1, but they're already down a player in Effie's who is close to that Hunter's Fury. Boombot can get quite a bit of damage onto Zelsis. They close it out with the rifle, but Penny able to trade back too, and that's the best way to keep fighting. Now a Showstopper online, but only 19 HP, and Thwifo trying to do something crazy outside the showers gets sat down. Here comes the info. 50% of the fight now in the hands of Version-1. A nice little
BCJ got darted and neural thefted, bro. Double the information on his location there. As now it's going to be a 2-on-3. They're trying to still see if they can't force their way through, but Version-1 has done such a fantastic job. A great shout, though, from the drone, but Penny used that to his advantage to swing out and blindside them. But BCJ now has player 1 pinned into the pocket. He gets that kill. Now he has a 1v1. Low HP, sure, but a Hunter's Fury to put out. And the thing is, Vanity has an element of surprise. What will come out on top?
2 shock darts available in a Recon Bolt just around the corner as well, but BCJ's definitely seen better times. Only on 30 HP. There it is. Recon Bolt. The tap on the spike as Vanity backs away into Hookah. Not giving away too much. Just or U-Haul, excuse me. Now looking to play inside the dark cover. There goes the Recon Bolt. The information now given, quite possibly, that BCJ is playing up towards the 7th position. 1 shock dart to follow the Hunter's Fury on top of it all, and he's just buying so much time with the Shrouded step. He pushes him down, and Vanity gets it done. They hang on for a moment longer.
Oh, it's not enough time.
No, not enough time. Wow, I was trying to hear for it, and that's the way it goes sometimes. 13-5. XSET will close out the series 2-1, and